Hey there guys, it's Attack on Samurai, and this is week 10, season 2 of the OBA, and we are going to be battling the Kansas City Kingdras, coached by KingdraPlaysGames, the administrator of the league, the creator of the league. So last season he actually won, season 1, so yeah, this season, he's got a new draft, a pretty powerful one as well. He actually had traded 2 mons recently, so let's go over his team. Before he traded, he had Alakazam, Garchomp, Rotom Wash. For OU, he had Florges, Pidgeot, Chandelure for UU. For RU, he had Registeel, Sigalith, and Quillfish. And for PU and for NU and below, he had Girder, Stoutland, and Ivysaur. So this time he only changed his Mega and his NU pick. So he changed it from Mega Pidgeot to a Mega Beedrill, and from Ivysaur to a Cacturne, which are both really good mons as well. So because of this dramatic change that he had in his team, because now he has more of an offensive presence now, I had to change some things as well. And kind of had to build a team to somewhat deal with it. Like, based off of his team, I realized that his team is mostly physical. Yeah, it's mostly physical. So that's what I based off. Everything else is either everything else is pretty much a special attacker or just a wall. Mainly Rotom and Florges are just walls. Alakazam and Chandelure are probably his most offensive special attacking special attackers. So this is how I had built my team. So anyways, this is not the first thing that we're going to talk about, but for now, since I already have it, I'm already on it. So we're going to talk about Mega Blastoise. So I wanted to bring Mega Blastoise this week because I needed something that can hit hard. Pretty much it. I needed something that could force out some of his mons, like something that could force out Garchomp or force out Chandelure. So this is going to be its set for this week. It's going to be Fake Out, Scald, Dark Pulse, and Rest. Now Fake Out, that's mainly to get some chip damage on things on his team, and also to break sashes. So I'm going to try and break Alakazam's sash, because usually most Alakazams are ran with a sash or a life orb, one of the two. So I went to make sure that I can fake out that Alakazam and force that thing to not attack me. Scald, this is just to get burnt on stuff and also to force things out. Again, like I mentioned before, it forces out Chandelure. And Skull pretty much scares Garchomp because Garchomp doesn't want to get burned unless it has a Lumberry. And the thing about Scald, the thing about one of the mons on his team is that he has one that has a water absorb, and that's a Cacturne. So I have to be aware of throwing Scalds out. And Dark Pulse, that's mainly to cover Alakazam and Chandelure as well, and Sigalith. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, and Rest. That way I can heal and stuff. So that's gonna be it for Blastoise. Now we're gonna move on to, because I should start it with Avalugg. I guess we'll just go to Avalugg. So I'm bringing wrong thing. So I'm bringing Avalugg this week because I needed to have a really good defensive wall. I kind of already do with Skarmory, but I'll get to that later. But I felt like I needed Avalugg because I needed to have at least some kind of defensive pressure in a way. So this is going to be its set: Avalanche, Toxic, Recover, and Rapid Spin. Avalanche, basically, you know what it does. You get hit with something and you get hit, and Avaluck hits double the power. So Earthquake, that's gonna do double, so that's gonna be like 200, I think, or 300. No, it's 200. It's gonna double that, so it's gonna be 200. 200 base power, I think. But yeah, Avalanche is gonna be a really good move. Toxic, that's mainly for Florges. I mean, it's mainly gonna be for Florges and Rotom. Those two really do not appreciate being toxic. Florges might, because it has access to aromatherapy. But that's the only really the only thing I see. Yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it. Recover, also to recover my health and get back to a good amount of health. Maybe even get back to sturdy as well. And Rapid Spin to get rid of hazards that you can set. He has 4 things. Now he has 4 things on his team that can set up hazards. Actually, I think Beedrill can set up hazards as well. I think it gets Toxic Spikes. Don't quote me on that, but he has potentially 5 hazard setups: Garchomp, Registeel, Cacturne, Quillfish, and Beedrill. So I have to be aware of them. I need to try and get rid of the hazards as well. So that's pretty much gonna be it for Avaluck. Yeah, so now we're gonna move on to Medicham. So gonna run Medicham with a Banded set this time. Gonna run Bullet Punch, High Jump Kick, Zen Headbutt, and Ice Punch. Bullet Punch priority. Does a lot to Florges. Also, again, like I mentioned before, it is priority. So having priority is really nice. So I have 2 priority users this week: Blastoise and Medicham. High Jump Kick, because only one thing on his team can actually take a High Jump Kick and not take damage, and that's Chandelure, obviously, because it's Ghost and Fire. So I have to be aware of that thing. Zen Headbutt, he has 2 resistances in it. I mean, 2 resistances that can resist Zen Headbutt, Registeel, and Sigilyph. Actually, I don't know about Sigilyph. Sigilyph probably can't take it that well, but Registeel can definitely take the Zen Headbutt very well. And Ice Punch is coverage for Garchomp and Cacturne, and Sigilyph as well. So yeah, this is pretty much it. Gonna run it Jolly because his team is actually fairly fast. So this is basically to outspeed some of his like slower mons, I guess that's what you say. To outspeed Stoutland, Registeel, Cacturne, mainly Stoutland and Quillfish, because those 2 actually speed tie with Medicham. Well, Stoutland speed ties with Medicham, but Quillfish is at base 85, so I feel like Jolly should be enough to outspeed it, depending on how he runs it. He could run it defensively. He could run it offensively like he did before. Like he did like a few weeks ago, or I think it was last week. No, he did it last week, but how he did it last week, making it a banded Quillfish. But again, I won't really know until I see the battle. So, or I guess but anyways, that's pretty much gonna be it for Medicham. Just gonna hit things really hard with a band. Because again, he doesn't really have anything that wants to take a hit from a banded Medicham. So yeah, it's pretty much gonna be it. And now we're gonna move on to Volcarona. So this is gonna be Volcarona set. Gonna run it with a Choice Scarf, U-Turn, Bug Buzz, Fiery Dance, and Giga Drain. U-Turn, haven't ran that in a while, but this is basically to get myself in a better position and stuff. Since I'm gonna be running it Scarf, that means I'll be able to outspeed some of his faster mons without a Scarf. I mean, that aren't running a Scarf. So I could outspeed the Alakazam, I could outspeed Garchomp, I can even outspeed Mega Beedrill. And even if it's Jolly, I can still outspeed it. So yeah, Volcarona Timid is going to be really good this week. Bug Buzz Priority, not Priority, Stab. Only a few mons can take it. Mainly Registeel and Florges and Girder. Oh, and Chandelure. Fiery Dance, it really forces out Registeel and Mega Beedrill, and also Cacturne. Gigadrain is mainly my check to his water types. Cacturne, no, not Cacturne. Quillfish and Rotom. Yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it for Volcarona, just to kind of like give me some momentum and to also force things out, and also to get a huge amount of damage on things on this team. So that's pretty much gonna be it for Volcarona, and now we're gonna move on to Tyranitar. So gonna run T-Tar offensive this week. I haven't ran that in a while, so it's gonna be Fire Punch, Earthquake, Crunch, and Dragon Dance. I was considering not going Fire Punch because, well, I already have Volcarona, which does make a lot of sense, but I'm still debating on that. I don't know if I want to go Fire Punch yet. I may change it, depending. I don't know. I'm still a bit iffy on Fire Punch, but Earthquake, that's going to do a lot to his Chandelure and also his Quillfish, and Registeel. Well, Registeel can probably take it decently well, depending on how he runs it. Crunch, Stab does a lot to his Chandelure and Alakazam. He has 2 resistances that can definitely take a Crunch. Cacturne, not well, but it is part dark, so it can take it decently well. But Florges basically tanks that very well, depending on how he runs it. If he runs it physically defensive, and D-Dance is basically get my stats up. Also running the Alum because I want to make sure that, and because it's very likely that he's gonna run the Willow Rotom, and he's gonna try and burn my T-Tar. So I can, as he does that, he can burn me, then I get a D-Dance up as my Alum goes off, and then I can get a good amount of damage on the Rotom. So yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it for T-Tar. Just gonna run it offensively with a D-Dance Lum setup. So now we're gonna move on to our last mon, which is going to be Skarmory this week. So I wanted to bring Skarmory because I'm really scared of that Mega Beedrill. Mega Beedrill is probably one of the hardest hitting mons in the UU tier, probably even OU. I mean, honestly, I'd argue OU. That thing hits incredibly hard with adaptability. Skarmory pretty much stops that thing in its place. It pretty much, Mega Beedrill can't do anything to Skarmory, so that's pretty much why I brought it. It basically stops it automatically. So this is going to be its set: Iron Head, Stealth Rock, Spikes, and Roost. Iron Head basically to cover a coverage move for Florges. Florges doesn't really appreciate steel type moves, which is also why I ran Bullet Punch on Medicham. So that's basically going to be its coverage for it. Stealth Rocks and Spikes, I need to get my hazards up because most of his team is very weak to Stealth Rock, so having that plus Spikes is really going to be useful to have. And Roost for recovery. So that's pretty much it. And a Rocky Helmet because I know that Beedrill will want to go for U-turns and stuff, and most of his offensive mons will try and hit Skarmory, so that's why I wanted to run the Rocky Helmet, so that way they can take some damage as well. So that's gonna be it. Now who do I think he's gonna bring? I'm pretty sure he's gonna bring Mega Beedrill, because he knows that I only have like maybe a few I only have like maybe one thing that can deal with it, and that's Skarmory, so he's probably gonna prep for that and gonna bring Mega Beat and probably gonna bring Chandelure as well, so he can, you know, try and force me out with it. I mean, try and force Skarmory out, and then probably force me to bring in something like T-Tar or something, and then go Energy Ball or something like that. But I'm pretty sure he's gonna bring Mega Beedrill and Chandelure. I also see him probably bringing either Quillfish or Stoutland. More Quillfish because he may need that for hazards. So Beedrill, Chandelure, Quillfish. I'm pretty sure he's gonna bring Florges because he knows that Florges is kind of a huge threat to my team because I have like 4 things that are weak to it: Latias, Medicham, T-Tar, and I'm missing one. No, I think it's only those 3. So, but he knows how powerful they are, so he's probably gonna bring Florges. Probably just gonna bring it as a healer anyway. So Beedrill, Chandelure, Florges, Quillfish. Probably gonna bring Registeel. Maybe. And probably Rotom. So Beedrill, Chandelure, Quillfish, Florges, Registeel, Rotom. I think that's too much bulk. I don't think he'd bring that. I don't think he'd go all out like that. But I definitely know he's gonna bring Beedrill and Chandelure. And I'm still leaning on Quillfish, so Beedrill, Chandelure, Quillfish, Florges. I think it's gonna be Rotom, and he's probably gonna bring another physical attacker. So it could be Garchomp. He could bring that. Maybe make it Scarf or something. Which could be a huge problem for Florges. So Beedrill, Chandelure, Quillfish, Florges, Rotom, and probably Garchomp. Yeah, you know what? I think that's gonna be his team: Beedrill, Chandelure, Quillfish, Florges, Rotom, and Garchomp. So that's gonna be it for my team builder. I think this is gonna be a really fun match. Gonna be really close as well. In season 1, I think I beat him twice. Wait, no, I think we only had 1 battle then. But I know I remember beating him, so it was still a really close battle then. So this is probably gonna be a really close one too. So I will see you guys when the battle happens. So take care and happy 20th anniversary.